Good morning, beloved. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever it is that you are watching the broadcast. Hello, hello, hello. It is wonderful to be able to connect with you, to be able to say hi, what's going on in your world, how are you, how blessed are you, how blessed are you, how's your day going, how things treating you. How you treating yourself? Okay. Let's just get kind of like real to the bottom line of it. How are you treating you? Because life, does what life does at times, and we run into challenges and difficulties and things like that. My question to you is, how are you treating you? Because I think it was Lisa Nichols she was doing an interview and she said, I am the first example of how the world gets to treat me. I am the first example, speaking about herself. I'm the first example of how the world gets to treat me. So if we follow that, if we follow kind of that, good morning, Devera L. Good morning and welcome. If we kind of follow that ideology, my question is, how are you treating you? Good morning, Sunshine. Good morning, Brenda. Brenda Voris, good morning. Um, I am the first example of how the world gets to treat me, right? So, how are you treating you? So this week we've been talking about the idea that we don't have to do it alone, whatever it is. Hey Brian, good morning, sis. Whatever it is, we don't have to do it alone. We don't have to go at it alone. Good morning, Judith. Welcome, welcome. That Papa always has a ram in the bush for us. He really does. He always has a ram in the bush. My question is, do we make ourselves available for what is available for us? Do we make ourselves available for, for our support, for our help? Or are we solo flyers? We feel like we have to do it on our own. Or we wait too long to ask for help. Like woe out by the time we ask for help. So where do you fall? Where do you fall? Um, Asking for help. How are you with this? Where are you on that scale? Do you ask for help? Like from the beginning, do you build help into your process? Do you build it into the process? Or do you kind of run yourself into the ground and actually don't even ask for help? People just realize, girl, what are you doing? Dude, what you doing? And then they just like volunteer, they just rescue you. Like, are you that far at the extreme? Or, where are you? So this is an assessment. I think probably most, if not all of what we're talking about is some invitation to assess ourselves, to look at ourselves and to see where we are in the process, to be able to ask ourselves those pertinent questions. Uh, hey, Virginia, good morning. Good morning, Virginia from Virginia. Yeah, to be able to ask ourselves those very important, pertinent questions about where we are. So, where are you in the process? Where are you in the process of asking for help? Do you reach out for help? Or do you suffer in silence? Or maybe not even in silence. Do you suffer? You might suffer vocally, but still not ask for help. You might fuss, be frustrated, be irritated. You might have thoughts, considerations, and all those kinds of things. But do you get the support playing with my hair. Do you get the support that you need? All right. Do you go after it? Do you make yourself available for the support that you need? Look, we do not have to take this journey alone. We don't. We don't. And if you find that you're alone, I'm just asking the question like, what is it? What's your habit? What do you find yourself repeating? How are you with other people? Do you have a wall? Are you overly needy? Like it can be any direction. Like if you have up a wall because you're afraid, you've been hurt before, then people won't be able to really get in and get to you. They won't be able to see you. And there is something in our human psyche that if people are hiding who they are, we kind of experience that. And so it's just like, I'm not sure what that is. It's something, right? And that something will keep people kind of at bay with you or from you, right? That something will, so it's that, but also, and I think even at the other extreme, I think that's hiding, right? Even at the other extreme where we might find ourselves, um, where we may find ourselves, how do I want to call it? Um, Not hiding, but we are showing everything. Like, you know how you meet somebody and they tell you their whole story, like they give you access too soon. That feels suspicious too, because it feels like, okay, they're not discerning, like they're not using wisdom. Because we must know who labor amongst us and who can or cannot, who we can or cannot engage certain ways, right? So, even the people, like sometimes we got people and they try really, 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 really hard. And so, because they're trying from a place of desperation and desperation and deficit, right? So, my invitation to you, beloved, if you find yourself on an island often by yourself, believing or feeling like you don't have anyone or you have to do this thing on your own, first and foremost, I'm going to invite you to begin believing that that's not true. The truth is that there are people for you. That's what I'm going to invite you to know that there are people for you and that you don't have to go it alone. In the world, that there are people for you and that you can have, and that you are people for somebody else. Because again, sowing and reaping is real. So you are somebody else's people, and there are people for you. So I'm inviting you to believe that first and foremost. Just start believing it and start looking for it, but not from a place of desperation, just from a place of knowing, pure positive knowing, from knowing, yeah, my people out there, like, I haven't, I don't know, I haven't been available for them. I haven't seen them. I haven't, whatever. Good morning, Ray. Welcome. And so, just this idea of knowing that your people are available for you, that you will, that you and you are available for them. They're available for you, and you are available for them, right? So that's one thing. Then the next thing is, um, what is it that you need to be able to invite people to support you with? What do you need help with? What do you need? What do you need help with? So another piece to sowing and reaping is, wherever it is that you need, like, give from that place. It's counterintuitive. So in Papa's economy, give and it shall be given unto you, right? And so we think, well, if I don't have enough, then how am I going to give? What am I going to give? I'm going to give from where? Give from where you are. Just give. If you need more love, give more love. If you need more peace, give more peace. If you need more, finances, share of the little bit that you have, right? And so, because there is no way for this principle to not work in your benefit. Like, if you need more friends, become more friendly, right? Make yourself available to be friends for others. Because if you need friends, you're not the only one who needs friends. Good morning, love. Good morning back to you, cousin. Love you. You are not the only one who needs friends. You're not the only one. So so it's just like, okay, where my people at? Where my people at? Where my people at? Good morning, Dorian. Good morning and welcome. So I'm inviting you to lean into the direction of where it is that you want to go. Lean into the direction of your desired results, that know that these things are available for you, always have and always will be. The question is, are you available for it? So asking for help. How are you with this, beloved? How are you with this? Do you suffer in silence? Or do you suffer vocally and other people suffer because of your vocals, but yet you're not asking for help? Or if you ask for help, but you don't know how to receive help, you know you need help, but you don't know what to do with the help when it comes, right? I know I've been there, right? I've been there because I know how to do a lot of things and I do things, but I get in my way by doing things that I don't need to be doing, that somebody else really needs to be doing. I'm still growing in that area. And part of that challenge is not having a plan in place so that when things happen, I need it in a time frame that is usually not optimal for other people, right? And so, I can't expect that. I can't expect them to adjust to my non-optimal time frame because I've waited, right? Because I've waited. And so I'm learning in that arena as well. So self-assessing is paramount for us to know where we are. So asking for help. Are you good at this? Are you efficient? Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. How well do you ask for help? How efficient are you at asking for help? Do you right away look at a project and like, oh, I'm gonna need support with that. I'm gonna need somebody to help me with that. I'm going to need, and are you, and the efficiency, take it one more step. Do you know who that somebody would be? Like, you see a project, you count up the costs, and you go, oh, okay, this person, this person, this person, this person. And maybe we don't know who the person is, but perhaps we do know what kind of help we need. Like, we might not know who, but we know that this ain't what I want to do. This ain't what I do. This is not how I do it, right? Good morning, Debbie Kokolo is on up and Adam with us this morning. Good morning, Debbie. Right? And so it's vital that we ask for the help that we need, that we even know we need to ask for help, right? That's vital that we do that we even know we need to ask for help. And then knowing who to ask is another benefit. Charlene, good morning, honey. Good morning. Right? It's another benefit to be able to ask, to know who to ask, not just whether or not we're asking, but know, who do I ask? Right? Because there's some people, beloved, like, they may be able to do something, but they may not be the best people for you to ask. It just really depends. So we've got to know always who labor amongst us. So asking for help. How are you at this? Where do you fall? And for some of us, It really is a matter of pride. I don't want to ask anybody to help me. What? I don't, because last time I asked for help, they said no. Well, you know what? I want people to tell me no who either cannot or don't want to for whatever their reasons are. Like, we've got to give people permission to be who they are. We got to give people permission to be where they are. You know, last time I asked them, they said no, so I'm not going to ask them again. Hey, beloved, that is a maturity kind of thing there, right? That's hurt and pain. I've gotten better, but I'm really bad at it. All right, honey. Good. I'm glad you're listening, because we all could improve at it, because if help is available, you know what? We want to be able to get it. So I'm glad you've gotten better. Glad you've gotten better, right? But that's our old experience talking to us that's stopping us from seeking out the support that's right there available. And so we suffer in silence, right? We suffer in silence. And so just giving people permission to be where they are. And like, there are some people you just know, well, it doesn't benefit me to ask them for whatever their reasons are, right? But then there's sometimes there are people who we ask and they're not available when we originally asked. So we were like, I'm not going to ask them again. My invitation to you is to ask yourself, what is that about? Like, what is that about? Because if it's pride, what's the internal message? I should be able to do it. I ought to be able to do it. If they said no, they don't really care. I mean, I don't know. Like, what, and whatever the message is, I'm going to ask you to ask yourself, is it true? Like, is it true? Is it true? Or could it be something else? Could it possibly be something else? My thing is, like, there's so many lessons that we can get from a toddler. So many. And this is one of them. When people tell toddlers no, they be like, whatever. Hello, excuse me, can I? They don't care how many times we tell them no. They keep coming back. May I, can I, would you, can't, would, whatever, however they ask. May I, can I have, could I have? Can we go? I want to go outside. I want to, no. Yes, whatever, right? They are persistent because they haven't gotten all of the gook that we have a tendency to get, where we apply motive to people's no, apply motive to people's pause. We apply motive to people's consideration. We apply motive. Well, they did it because, perhaps. And perhaps that was just for that season. Maybe we don't ever know what someone else is dealing with, what's going on with them. So what I really work to accept what people have available for me. Like, to be okay with what they have, but to always know that my needs will be met. And so if it's not from that person, it's okay. Like, it's okay. It doesn't have to be a thing. It doesn't have to be a big deal. Like, I just don't want big deals in my life from relationships. I just don't want big deals. Like, I've had enough, even if it affects you negatively. Charlene, tell me what else you're saying there, honey. I've gotten better, but I'm really bad at it, even if it affects you negatively. Yeah, I just don't want big deals, like big deals, stuff, conflict, issues, challenges. It takes up mental space, emotional space. I just don't want it. So I'm going to move to resolve sooner, quicker, faster. I'm going to say what needs to be said with fewer words, just direct, to the point, always with love and honor and respect, always accepting people where they are and how they show up, but the way they show up or lack thereof affects you next. Yes, 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 yes. That not, and honey, that's what the TED Talk is about. That is exactly what my TED Talk is. Even when it affects you in a way that isn't what you want, like you have no control over them. So it's, first of all, if we have the belief that we're going to get our needs, like my need is going to be met. It may not be met by the person who I anticipated it to be met by, or who I wanted it to be met by, but it doesn't benefit me to keep going back to like the well that's dry. Like, say for instance, we said, well, my mama is supposed to be the one, or my best friend is supposed to be the one, or this person is supposed to be. But if they're not the one, and I keep going back to them for that thing, then that's on me. Because for whatever reason, they don't have it. Like I invite people to grow in certain areas and to become and those kinds of things. But if time after time after time after time they keep showing me who they are, I've got to believe them. I've got to believe them. So I've got to accept it. Accept it doesn't mean I agree with it. It doesn't mean that I'm going to keep making myself available to the thing. Acceptance means that, oh, I see that. I understand. For this dynamic, this is all you have to give. So acceptance is a sober reality that this is what it is. And so this doesn't work for me. It positions me to ask myself the sober question, is this enough? Is this sufficient? Does this work for me? And then to say, oh, it doesn't. So then, Kathy, this isn't about somebody else, because this is your need that needs to get met. So then you need to do something else. You need to make yourself. Now we have the conversations, right? In the places that are appropriate and necessary. But often we live in a space trying to demanding that people be other than they've shown themselves to be. That's a place of misery. That's a place of misery. When you are in business together, it's difficult. I truly try to just accept where she is and continue with that, with the business needs, but it's hard. Yeah, and sometimes that means that you don't stay in business, right? Sometimes it means that you don't, and it is, and I'm working on it, right? Sometimes it does mean that you don't stay in business, but my point is that we don't stay in the same kind of engagement and expect people to change and that we're better. That, like if we're miserable because a person won't change, it's on us to do something different, not them. Because then our misery is tethered. I mean, our well-being is tethered to their actions, to their change. Like we are looking to be better when they change. The pattern, like look at the history, watch the pattern, not from a place of judgment, just from a place of assessment. Like, do they even have the ability to do what it is that we're asking them to do? Do they want to? Maybe they want to, but don't realize that they've got some stuff that's hindering them from being able to show up in the way that we desire for them to show up. And so what I've discovered in my life is acceptance has given me so much peace, honey. It has given me so much peace. And so we try, and then we're like, "Oop, this ain't working." Like I've tried. I've, attempted to help it, attempted to make it work. I've done all that I can do. And sometimes it's just the dynamics. Like it might work with her and somebody else, but not with her and you. Right. Sometimes it's just the dynamics of it all. And so being okay with it, but the okay is knowing that your needs will be met one way or the other. And not using so much energy continuing to focus in the area that it doesn't work. All right. Thank you. I appreciate you. I do appreciate you for being on, for engaging, for asking the questions. Amen. Amen, honey. So I invite all of you to come on live tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be live at WHPR TV Detroit. WHPR TV Detroit. You can go and I think it's going to be live streamed from all of my social medias, but you also can go to WHPRTV.com and it'll be live streamed there 11:30 to noon. We will be on live having a dynamic conversation. So I invite you to be there. I invite you to join the More Love Please movement. You do that by going to drcatherineejames.com, clicking on More Love Please, and become a supporter. Tomorrow we will be honoring Virginia from Virginia Sellers, who has joined the movement and by sponsoring a For the Love of It, by sponsoring the next episode of For the Love of It. So Virginia, we thank you in advance for your sponsorship, and we invite others to sponsor and or support. We want to keep in mind that the Queen's Adventure is coming up rapidly, and I believe we're at capacity. I believe we are. I'm going to check the numbers one more time. This has been a fluid ride, y'all. It's been a fluid ride, but I'm glad about it. I'm good with it. I'm glad about it. I'm okay with what Papa has to offer. I'm so okay. And I think that's that. I love you. I really do. It is my hope and desire that we are all living our maximum lives. And I believe that our maximal lives is infused with love. Infused with love. You loving you first. And then inviting others to follow your example. You are the first example of how others get to treat you. Okay? At the moment that Abba gave us our breath, me and you, we forfeited, we relinquished, we gave up the right to not be amazing. You and I simply do not have the right to not be amazing because you are anyway. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. And the other comment was about me asking for help. Okay. Even if it affects you negatively. Oh, if asking for help affects you negatively. And so we'll have to talk about that because is that ego gotten better? Okay. Is it ego when you're asking for help? No, it's not. Okay. All right. So we let's talk about it, honey. And I'm glad you've gotten better. I'm saying I've gotten better at asking for help, but I'm still bad at it. Okay. All right. Got it. It's not ego, it's the fear of disappointment. That's still ego. That's ego, honey. It is, right? And right, that's our ego saying, yeah, but if they did, and this, so on and so forth, and da, right? That's that. That's that other part of us having that conversation, right? That's what it is. So I love you. I appreciate you being transparent. I appreciate you having just a live, honest conversation about it. All right. It's that internal dialogue. It's the conversation we have with ourselves about a thing, right? And it's ego because as we are okay with being disappointed, as we're okay, ego is like, well, they're going to, and this is going to, like, ego is running amok in that. When we're like, okay, yep, I don't like it, but it's okay. Like, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to survive it. And I'll keep going. And it'll be okay. All right. I love you. Thank you for being on and for making this morning much more richer by your conversations and your transparency. Talk to you later, honey. Bye-bye.